Welcome back to My Colombia Stories. This one hits different. Tonight's story comes from Tom, 52 years old, insurance adjuster from Denver. For a living, he spots red flags, investigates fraud, looks for patterns. That's literally his job. He went to Cali for 6 weeks, came back $14,200 lighter, and still can't believe he missed every single warning sign. Some of you are going to say he should have known better. Maybe you're right, but loneliness makes you blind. And when someone makes you feel young again after 23 years of a dead marriage, you stop asking questions. You just want to keep feeling that way. Before you hear what happened, subscribe and hit like for more Colombia stories. Tom's story will make you question everything you think you know. Here's Tom. The divorce finalised in March, 23 years. Done. My ex-wife didn't want counselling, didn't want to try, she wanted out. I signed the papers. What else could I do? I took 2 weeks off work, sat in my apartment in Denver, didn't know what to do with myself, watched Netflix, ordered takeout, stared at the walls. My daughter called, asked if I was okay. I said, yeah, fine. She didn't believe me. My buddy Rick said I needed to do something, get out of town, stop moping. He'd been to Colombia last year, Medellin. Said it changed his life. I said I'm 52, too old for that backpacker nonsense. He said exactly. That's why you should go. I looked into it. Colombia. Cheap, warm, different. I'd been to Mexico, Cancun, all-inclusive resorts. This felt more real, more adventurous. Then I saw something about Cali, Salsa capital of the world. I'd always wanted to learn. My ex-wife hated dancing, said it was stupid, waste of time. Now she wasn't here to say no. I booked a flight for May, 6 weeks. Rented an apartment in San Antonio, colonial neighbourhood. Looked safe, looked pretty. I signed up for salsa classes at a school called Son de Luz. Beginner level, twice a week. I landed in Cali on a Tuesday. Hot, humid, way hotter than Denver. The taxi driver didn't speak English. I didn't speak Spanish. We figured it out with Google Translate. He dropped me at my apartment. Small place, 1 bedroom, balcony overlooking the street. It smelled like paint. Fresh coat. Clean. I spent the first 3 days just walking around. San Antonio is hilly. Cobblestone streets. Colourful buildings. Lots of little cafes. Lots of tourists. Not Medellin-level tourists, but enough. I felt safe. Felt normal. My first salsa class was Saturday morning. 10 a.m, I showed up 15 minutes early. Nervous. The studio was on the 2nd floor of an old building. Wood floors, mirrors, big windows. About 20 people in the class. Mix of locals and foreigners. The instructor was a woman named Beatrice, maybe 40. Spoke good English. She paired us up. Beginners with beginners. I got paired with Andrea. Andrea was 38. I found that out later. She wore black leggings and a red tank top. Hair pulled back in a ponytail. Smiled when we introduced ourselves. Her English was decent. My Spanish was terrible. We laughed about it. The class was hard, I had no rhythm. 2 left feet. Andrea was patient. Showed me the steps again. Didn't make me feel stupid. After an hour I was sweating through my shirt. She looked fine. Barely broke a sweat. After class she asked if I wanted to get coffee. I said sure. We walked 2 blocks to a cafe. Ordered Tintos, small black coffees. Sat outside. She asked what brought me to Cali. I said divorce, fresh start, learning to dance. She nodded. Said she understood. Her marriage ended 3 years ago. 1 daughter, 12 years old. We talked for an hour. She asked about Denver, about my job, about my daughter. I asked about Cali, about her work. She said she managed a small hotel downtown. Family business. Her uncle owned it. She helped run the day-to-day. She said most gringos go to Medellin or Cartagena. Not many come to Cali. I asked why. She said Cali has a reputation, more dangerous, more cartel history. I said, is it dangerous now? She said no. Not really, just the reputation stays. Like a scar. I liked her. She was easy to talk to. Didn't try too hard. Didn't ask for anything. When I paid for the coffees, she said next time it's on her. I said deal. 2nd class was the following Thursday. Evening class, 7 p.m. Andrea was there, we partnered up again. Beatrice showed us new steps. Turn patterns. I messed up constantly. Andrea laughed. Not mean, just amused. She said I was getting better. I said she was lying. She said maybe a little. After class, we got dinner. Empanadas from a street cart near the studio. We ate sitting on the curb. She told me about her daughter, Camilla. Smart kid, good in school. Wanted to be a doctor. I showed her photos of my daughter, Claire, 24, marketing job in Chicago. Andrea said she's beautiful. I said thanks, looks like her mum. We started meeting outside of class, coffee, lunch, walks along the river. Rio Cali. She showed me around, took me to Cristo Rey. Big statue on a hill, views of the whole city. We took a selfie. I posted it on Facebook. First photo I'd posted in months. Claire texted me, said I looked happy, asked who the woman was. I said just a friend, dance partner. She sent back a winky face. I ignored it. 3 weeks in, Andrea invited me to a salsa club. Friday night, Juanchito. She said it's where the real dancing happens, not the tourist spots. I said I'm not good enough. She said no one cares. Just have fun. I met her there at 10 p.m. The place was packed. Live band. Everyone moving. I felt out of place. Old, white, awkward. Andrea grabbed my hand, pulled me onto the floor. Said, follow me. I tried, messed up every other step. She didn't care, just kept smiling. We danced for 2 hours, took breaks, drank beer. Aguila. She introduced me to her friends. 3 women. 2 guys. Everyone was friendly. Spoke some English. Made me feel welcome. One of the guys, Mauricio, said Andrea talks about me a lot. I looked at her. She blushed. Actually blushed. At midnight she said she had to go. Early morning tomorrow. I said I'd walk her to a taxi. She said no need. She drove. I said you drove? She laughed. Said yeah. I have a car. Want a ride back to San Antonio? I said sure. We walked to her car. Toyota. She drove fast. Confident. We talked the whole way. She asked if I was having a good time in Cali. I said yeah. Better than I expected. She said good. I'm glad. She dropped me at my building. I said thanks for tonight. She said anytime. Then she leaned over. Kissed me. Quick. Said goodnight. Drove off. I stood there for a minute. Replaying it. The kiss. Had it been that long? Yeah, it had. I went upstairs. Couldn't sleep. Texted her. Said I had a great time. She replied right away. Said me too. We should do it again. I said definitely. The next week we went out 3 times. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Coffee, dinner. More dancing. Each time felt easier. More natural. Like we'd known each other for years. She came to my apartment on Sunday. Brought lunch. Sancocho. Chicken soup. Traditional. She said she made it herself. We ate on the balcony. She asked about my ex-wife. What happened? I told her. The slow fade. The resentment. The final conversation. She listened. Didn't judge. Said sometimes people grow apart. It's no one's fault. I asked about her ex-husband. She said he left when Camilla was 9. Moved to Bogota. New job, new girlfriend. Sends money sometimes. Barely calls. She said Camilla pretends it doesn't hurt. But it does. We sat there for a long time, just talking. The sun setting. Music from the street below. I felt something I hadn't felt in years, connected. Understood. Alive. That night she stayed. We didn't plan it. It just happened. In the morning she made coffee. We sat on the balcony. She said she should go. Pick up Camilla from her mum's place. I said okay, she kissed me. Said see you at class Thursday. Thursday came. She wasn't at class, I texted her. No response. I figured she was busy. Hotel stuff. Family stuff. I went to class solo. Beatrice paired me with someone else. It wasn't the same. Friday morning she texted. Said sorry. Emergency with Camilla. Everything's fine now. Can we talk later? I said of course. Call me when you're free. She called that evening. Her voice sounded off. Stressed. She said Camilla's dad was supposed to send money. Didn't. He does this. Promises. Then nothing. She said she needed to pay for Camilla's school trip. 400,000 pesos, about $100. She said she asked her uncle. He can't help right now. Hotel had a slow month. I said I can help. She said no. I can't ask you that. I said you didn't ask, I'm offering. She went quiet. Then she said, are you sure? I said yeah. It's not a big deal. She said thank you, I'll pay you back. I said don't worry about it. She said no. I will. I promise. I sent the money through Nequi, Colombian payment app. She'd helped me set it up the week before, easier than cash. She got it. Texted thank you 5 times. Said I was too kind. Said she didn't deserve it. 2 days later, she said the school needed more. Extra fees, activities. Another 200,000 pesos, $50. I sent it. She said thank you again. Said she felt terrible. I said stop. It's fine. The next week, her uncle's hotel had a plumbing emergency. Burst pipe, water damage. He needed to fix it fast. Inspection coming. Andrea said he asked her to cover it temporarily. 6 million pesos. $1,500. He'd pay her back when the insurance paid out. She said she didn't have it. Asked if I could help. Just for a week, maybe 2. I hesitated. 1,500 is different than 100. She said, I understand, it's too much. Forget I asked. I said no. I'll help. She said, really? I said, yeah. Just pay me back when you can. I sent the money. She said I saved her life. Said her uncle would kill her if the hotel got shut down. Said she'd pay me back as soon as the insurance came through. 3 days later, her cousin got arrested. And that's when everything changed. She called me crying. Monday night. 11 p.m, I was already in bed. She said her cousin Diego got arrested. I said, what? She said police. Traffic stop. They found something in his car. She didn't know what, maybe drugs, maybe something else. He's in jail. They won't let him out without bail. I said, okay, slow down, what do you need? She said nothing. I can't ask you for more. You've done too much. I said, Andrea, tell me. She said bail is 8 million pesos, $2,000. Her family doesn't have it. Her uncle's money is tied up in the hotel repairs. Her mum doesn't work. Her brother's in Spain. Can't send money fast enough. I said I'll help. She said no. It's too much. I said it's not. How do I send it? She said, are you sure? I said, yeah. Tell me where. She gave me information. Some bail office number. Said I could send it through Western Union. I went online, filled out the form, $2,000, sent to some office in Cali. Transaction went through. I screenshotted it, sent it to her. She said thank you. Said I don't know how to repay you. Said her family will pay me back as soon as Diego gets out. He has money. Good job. Just tied up right now. I said don't worry about it, just help your cousin. 2 days later she said Diego's out. Bail worked. But now there's a lawyer. Diego needs a lawyer. Public defender is trash. Real lawyer costs 6 million pesos, $1,500. Family's trying to put it together. Can I help with half? She'll cover the rest. I said yeah. Sent her $750. She said thank you. Said she feels awful. Said this is the last time, I promise. I said it's okay. I believe you. Friday she said the lawyer needs more. Upfront retainer. Another 4 million pesos. $1,000. Diego's case is complicated. Needs a good defense. Otherwise he's going to prison. I said what did he do? She said nothing. Wrong place, wrong time. Planted evidence. Happens here all the time. Corrupt cops. I said okay, I'll send it. I sent the $1,000. My savings account was getting low. I had about 4,000 left. Retirement fund had more. But that was for emergencies. This felt like an emergency. Her family needed help. She needed help. Saturday she came over, brought me dinner, arroz con pollo, rice and chicken. Homemade. She said thank you for everything. Said her family wants to meet me. Thank me in person. I said sure. Whenever. She stayed that night. In the morning she got a call, answered in Spanish, got quiet, hung up, started crying. I said what's wrong? She said Diego's sick. In jail. Some infection. Needs medicine. Hospital won't treat him unless someone pays up front. 3 million pesos, $750. I said I'll send it. She said no. You've done enough. I said Andrea, I'll send it. Just tell me where. She gave me information. Some clinic name. I sent the money. She cried. Said I'm the best thing that ever happened to her. Said she loves me. I said I love you too. First time I'd said it to anyone in years. Felt good. Felt real. Sunday she said Diego's better. Medicine worked. But the lawyer called. Needs to file motions. More paperwork. More fees. Another 2 million pesos, $500. I sent it. Monday she said her daughter Camilla is sick. Needs to see a specialist. Stomach problems. Been going on for weeks. She didn't want to worry me. Specialist costs 1 million pesos, $250. I sent it. Tuesday she said the hotel got another inspection notice. Uncle needs to bribe the inspector. Standard practice here. 2 million pesos, $500. Otherwise they fail. Lose their license. I sent it. Wednesday, she said Diego's lawyer needs expert witnesses. 4 million pesos. $1,000. I sent it. Thursday, I checked my savings. $800 left. I'd sent over 13,000 in 2 weeks. My chest felt tight. I called Andrea. Said we need to talk. She said, okay, come over. I'll make dinner. I went to her place for the first time. She'd always come to mine. Said her place was small, embarrassing. It was fine, modest, clean. 2 bedrooms. Camilla was there, pretty kid. Shy, said hi, went to her room. Andrea made pasta. We ate on her couch. I said I need to slow down with the money. I want to help, but I'm running low. She said, I understand. I'm so sorry. I'll pay you back soon, Diego promised. His money clears next week. He'll pay me back. Then I pay you. I said, okay. Good. She said, just one more thing. Then we're done. I said, what? She said, Diego's trial got moved up. Lawyer needs final payment. 5 million pesos. $1,250. If we don't pay, Diego goes to prison. 3 years. Minimum. Maybe more. I said, Andrea, I don't have it. She said, check your retirement. I know you have it. I can see it in your face. You're comfortable. You have savings. Please. This is my cousin, my family. I said, I can't. That's my future. She said, I'll pay you back. I promise. 2 weeks, maybe 3. Please. I sat there, staring at her. She looked desperate, tears in her eyes. I said, okay, I'll send it. I went home, logged into my retirement account, withdrew $1,250. Penalty fee, tax hit, didn't care. Send it to her. She said, thank you. Said, this is it. No more, I promise. Friday she didn't text. I texted her, no response, tried calling. Voicemail. Tried again Saturday. Nothing. Sunday. Nothing. Monday I went to her hotel, the one her uncle owns, asked for Andrea. Front desk guy said, who? I said, Andrea. Works here. Manages the place. He said, no Andrea here. I said, her uncle owns it. What's his name? He said the owner's name is Carlos, no Andrea. No uncle. I showed him a photo on my phone. Me and Andrea at Cristo Rey. He said, never seen her. I said, she works here. He said, I've worked here 2 years, never seen her. I left. Walked to the Salsa studio. Son de Luz. Found Beatriz. Asked about Andrea. She said, Andrea. I said, yeah. My partner. Beatriz looked confused. Said, we don't have an Andrea. I said, yes, you do. She's been coming for weeks. Beatriz said, no. You've been partnered with different people. Mostly Maria. Sometimes Claudia. No Andrea. I showed her the photo. She studied it. Said, I don't know her. Maybe she came for a trial class. I said, no. She's been here. Multiple times. Beatriz said, I'm sorry. I don't remember her. I walked back to my apartment. My hands were shaking. Pulled out my phone, went through our text messages, photos, all there, all real. Went to her WhatsApp. Profile picture was gone. Last seen was gone. Number was still saved. I called. Disconnected. Out of service. I sat on my balcony. Tried to think. Tried to understand. Opened my banking app. Went through every transaction. Every Western Union. Every Nequi transfer. Every wire. Added it up. $14,200. Gone. I called my bank. Fraud department. Explained everything. They said, did you authorise the transfers? I said yes. But I was lied to. They said that's not fraud, that's a personal dispute, nothing they can do. I said she scammed me. They said you willingly sent money. We can't reverse it. File a police report. Maybe they can help. I went to the police. CAI station downtown. Waited an hour. Talked to an officer. Showed him everything. Photos, messages, transaction records. He wrote notes. Asked for her real name. I said Andrea. He said last name. I realised I didn't know. He said address. I gave him the address I went to. He said, we'll check it out. Come back in a few days. I came back 3 days later. He said the address is a rental. Owner said no, Andrea lives there. Never has. Records show it was. Empty last month. I said that's impossible. I was there, he shrugged. Said maybe she borrowed it. Maybe she knows the owner. Can't prove anything. He said without a real name we can't do anything. Andrea is common. Could be anyone. The photos could be anyone. The number is dead. The hotel says they don't know her. The dance studio doesn't know her. She's a ghost. I said, what about Diego, her cousin? The one who got arrested? He said, I checked. No Diego arrested in Cali in the past month matching that description. I said the lawyer, the bail office. He said, give me the names. I did. He looked them up, said the bail office doesn't exist. Address is fake. Lawyer isn't registered. Made up. I said all of it. He said all of it. Fake cousin, fake arrest, fake lawyer, fake hotel emergency, fake daughter sickness. All fake. I said, but I met her daughter. He said, you met a daughter. Doesn't mean it's her daughter. Could be anyone's kid. Paid to sit there. Act shy. Say hi. I left. Went back to my apartment. Sat on the balcony. Looked out at San Antonio. Colourful buildings. Cobblestone streets. Same view. Different feeling. Everything felt wrong now. Fake. Like I was living in someone else's story. I googled romance scams. Found hundreds of articles. Thousands of stories. All the same. Meet someone. Fall fast. Emergencies pile up. Money disappears. Person vanishes. I was a cliché. A statistic. A 52-year-old idiot who thought a beautiful woman actually liked him. My daughter called. Asked how Cali was going. I said fine. She said you sound off. I said just tired. She said you sure? I said yeah, talk soon. Hung up. Couldn't tell her. Couldn't admit it. I stayed in Cali for another week. Tried to find her. Walked around San Antonio. Went to every cafe we'd been to. Every restaurant. Showed people her photo. No one knew her. No one remembered seeing us together. I went back to Juanchito, the Salsa club. Asked the bartender about Andrea. Showed him the photo. He said maybe. Lots of people come through. Can't remember everyone. I asked about her friends, Mauricio, the others. He said don't know them. I said they were here. That Friday night. He said maybe. Can't help you. I checked Facebook. Her profile was gone. Instagram was gone. The selfie we took at Cristo Rey was still on my phone. Still on my Facebook. But when I clicked her tag, nothing. Account deleted. Or never existed. I don't know which. I went to the address where I picked her up that night. Knocked on the door. An old woman answered. I asked if Andrea lives here. She said no, Andrea here. I showed her the photo. She said never seen her. I said I picked her up from this address. She said you're mistaken. Closed the door. I tried calling Western Union. Asked about the transactions. Gave them the reference numbers. They said money was picked up. Can't tell me by who. Privacy policy? I said I was scammed. They said file a police report. Bring it to us. No promises. I went back to the police station. Asked for an update. Officer said we checked everything you gave us. All dead ends. Unless you have new information, there's nothing we can do. I said so, that's it. He said that's it. Sorry. I called my bank again. Asked if there was anything they could do. Anything at all. They said you authorised every transaction. You weren't hacked. You sent the money willingly. There's no fraud. It's a civil matter. You'd have to sue her, but you don't know her real name or where she is, so you can't. Money's gone. I called my credit card company. Asked if I had any recourse. Same answer. Authorised transactions. Nothing they can do. I looked up lawyers in Cali, called 3 of them, explained the situation. All said the same thing. Without her real identity, there's no case. I'm okay now. Most days. I go to work. I pay my bills. I talk to my daughter. I see Rick sometimes. Grab a beer, watch football. Normal stuff. But something's different. I'm more careful now. More suspicious. Someone's nice to me at the grocery store. I wonder what they want. A coworker offers to help with something. I question their motive. It's exhausting, but I can't turn it off. I haven't been back to Colombia. Don't plan to. Maybe one day, maybe never. Cali's ruined for me. Salsa's ruined for me. Even Colombian food tastes different now. Tried making arroz con pollo last month. Couldn't finish it. Just tasted like lies. My daughter says I'm too hard on myself. Says anyone could have fallen for it. I don't know if that's true, but I fell for it. Me. The guy who investigates fraud for a living. The guy who's supposed to spot red flags. I missed every single one. Or I saw them and ignored them. I'm not sure which is worse. The money's gone, I've accepted that. It's not coming back. I'll rebuild. Already have. Been putting extra into savings. Stopped eating out. Stopped buying things I don't need. In 2 years I'll be back where I was. Financially at least. The other stuff takes longer. Trust. Openness. Willingness to be vulnerable. That stuff doesn't have a timeline. Maybe it comes back. Maybe it doesn't. People ask if I regret going to Colombia. I don't know. I had some good weeks. Before everything. The dancing, the exploring, the feeling of starting over. That part was real. Or it felt real. Then it wasn't. So did I have good weeks, or did I just think I did? I can't separate the two anymore. What I know is this. I went to Cali lonely. I came back lonelier. $14,000 lighter. And a lot less trusting. That's the story. Thanks, Tom, for sharing that. This is my Colombia stories. Stay safe out there.